Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is DL and I am a certified financial counselor. Here on my channel, I talk about personal finance, mindset, financial wellness, things like that. I give tips and tricks, kind of how to become the master of your own money so your money doesn't control you. I also have some pretty severe ADHD, just setting as a disclaimer, so I tend to sometimes ramble or lose track of what I'm saying, so I always have to have notes with me, and right now I'm using my iPad so that I can stay on track. So if you see me looking back and referencing my notes, it's for your benefit, so this video kind of stays where it's supposed to go, and so that I don't start just kind of wandering off on a different tangent. With that being said, I need to make a really quick disclaimer just so that I just need to make a quick disclaimer. Though I am a financial counselor, I am not your financial counselor. The information shared in this video, just tips, tricks, things I've learned over time. You can use the information at your own discretion, but I'm just sharing it for informational purposes. So now that we've gotten that disclaimer out of the way, I'm just going to get right into this topic. And if you happen to like the subject, or if you happen to have more questions on personal finance or mindset, feel free to drop a comment here, or even just, I will link my business page. My business is called Reclaim Your Wallet, and I will link that page to my Facebook page and my email address so you can get in touch with me and ask me any questions that you may have too. I'm always looking for new ideas for videos so that I can make things that are relevant to you. So, without further ado, let's get started. If I didn't mention before, my name's DL. Nice to meet you. So in this video, we are actually going to talk about budget is not restrictive. So I know that, and I've heard many times again, and I used to think this way, there's this common idea that, oh, I'm on a budget. That means I can't do what I want to do. I can't have fun. I can't go out and get my nails done or eat out because I'm on a budget. Well, to be completely honest with you, everyone should always be on a budget. And I don't mean you shouldn't have fun, because that's actually one of the biggest budgeting myths out there, that budgeting is restrictive. In this video, you guessed it, I'm going to talk about some budgeting myths and budgeting lies. Let's see. So the first one I already kind of hit on is that budgeting is not restrictive. And here's why. It's only restrictive if you make it so because you write and create your own budget. You choose what to put in there and you choose what to leave out. But a budget is strictly just a plan for your money that helps you gain control. And actually not budgeting has proven in many instances to be more restrictive than your budget is. I mean, have you ever had a time in your life where you spent your paycheck before you even realized it, and then by the end of the month, you still had some bills left over that you had to pay, and you were scratching your head figuring out, shoot, I don't know what I'm going to get that money from. Or you had to eat ramen at the end of the month because you kind of just ran out of money? That's likely a budgeting problem. A budget, a well-executed budget, actually helps you so that by the time you get to the end of the month, you're still comfortable. You still have groceries, you can pay your rent and your phone bill, and you can even go out with friends and have a drink or go out to dinner or watch a movie if you so desire. Your budget is simply just your plan for your money. And if you don't tell your money where to go, it just goes wherever, and you don't really have much control over it. So, myth number one, budgeting is restrictive. That's completely false. Myth number two is that only broke people budget. That is completely false. Again, kind of along the same lines that I mentioned before, broke people are broke a lot of times because they have no control over their money. You can see someone who makes 6 figures, 7 figures, and still feel like they're broke because they're in a lot of debt and they just keep buying, but they have nothing to do with their money. And you might be that way, and you know what? I've been that way, and sometimes I still get that way where I feel like my savings is depleted, I'm spending more than I'm bringing in. It's a common occurrence, but you don't have to be broke. A budget actually helps you take control of your finances and really just ensures that you get to where you want to go with your money. You are broke because you don't budget. So again, only broke people budget is myth number 2 that I'm talking about. Myth number 3. This is the biggest one. And when I was really learning how to budget, I'm going to set down my iPad for a minute. When I was really learning how to budget, this was a big mindset shift that I had to overcome. Myth number 3 is that I have to give up things I like when I budget. The truth of the matter is you should budget for things that you like. Even if money is tight and even if things are hard, you should still give yourself some things that you like in your budget. Because if you don't do that, if you don't give yourself grace, then you are going to end up hitting your breaking point, going out and buying that Starbucks that you said you weren't going to buy, or you find yourself getting to the checkout line with a few items that you didn't realize were in there. You're going to get out of control because you need that release. You need to give yourself a little bit of freedom with your money. Even if it's just $10 or $20, even if it's just a small amount, you have to make sure that you are giving yourself a little bit of wiggle room in your budget. I found that helps the most. And if there are items that you know you can't live without, you've got to budget those in. I particularly am one where pizza, my biggest weakness, I can spend $300, $400, $500 a month on ordering pizza or eating out because I just don't feel like cooking that day. So I've had times in order to control that where I just completely cut it out of my budget and say, nope, I don't have the budget for it. I can't do it. Well, guess what? Friday night rolls around. I'm extremely exhausted after work and picking up the kid from daycare and taking care of everything that I just break down and order a pizza. And I hadn't budgeted for it. So where does that money come from? Typically it comes from somewhere else in the budget that at the end of the month I'm really upset that I spent. The thing is, no amount of saying I am not going to spend this money on this thing that I do all the time every day, it's not going to stop you from doing it. So do not use your budget as a means to cut those things out of your life. Now, I'm not saying you should eat pizza every week because I've actually started embracing on healthier eating habits and I don't eat pizza every week anymore. But I didn't control it using my budget. I didn't say I don't have money for it, because if that's my reason for doing it, I always find the money for it and I always blow my budget. So do not be restrictive and don't cut things out of your budget because you need to plan for it. If I make sure that I have money set aside every paycheck or week or however often it is, I say, look, I have this tendency, I always say I'm not going to order a pizza, and then I do. Then I just set $20 aside and say, okay, I'll order a pizza this week. This is my pizza money. And I found that when I give myself permission to do it and I have the money sitting there, I actually don't use it as often as I do when I tell myself, no, I can't do it. So just food for thought there, that you do not have to cut out things that are important to you. I just lost my place, so I gotta find it. Oh yes, and myth number 4. So I'm only touching on 4 myths. Myth number 4, I kind of a little bit touched on this subject already, but I won't have to budget anymore once I get my spending under control. False. You should always budget. Even if you're on top of your money, even if you've got it under control, in that case, if you've got your money under control, you're down to a really big routine, you're in a comfortable place, it should only take you like 5 minutes to go over the budget because you've already got everything planned and ready to go. But the minute you stop with the budget, you slowly start creeping back into old money habits and your money starts spending you again. That budget is the roadmap to where you want to go. It helps you stay on track, and it is very important to continue doing it even after you've already mastered the skill. Oops. Sorry about that. My camera, I just bumped it. So even after you've already mastered the skill of budgeting, it's still really important to hang on to it. I think of it as a weight loss journey, right? So if you're trying to lose weight, you might try diet, you might try exercise, you might try a combination of both, and you're doing really good, you're making good progress, you're dropping that weight, and you feel great. And then once you get to your goal weight, you say, I don't have to diet anymore. I don't have to exercise anymore. I made it and I'm here. And what happens when you say that? The weight all comes right back on. Because you stopped doing what you needed to do to make the progress. It's a lifestyle change and it's a mindset change. And it's something that you should gradually ease yourself into a little bit at a time. But the truth of the matter is, you should always be budgeting, even if you're financially fit. In fact, being financially fit is likely because you budget. All right, so I've talked about that. All right, so now I'm just basically going to summarize what we talked about. So number one of the reasons why you should budget is because it puts you in control. Your money stops spending you, and you get to be in control and get to change the outcome. No more, where's the money at the end of the month problem. You're in control and you have money for the things that you want and the things that you need. Number two, budgeting helps you build wealth because you are making a plan and you are taking control of your money, and you now call the shots and say where it goes. If you want to save $100 a month, you plan for it and you make and find ways to arrange your money so that you can get that money saved. You can reach your goals and you can build your wealth through budgeting. You get to live the lifestyle you want because you budget. So I talked a lot about the fact that budgeting isn't restrictive. That's actually a common myth. That it does help you get what you want. And think about like the fact that you have a certain style of living that you want to achieve, right? Everyone does. I do. I have a particular standard of living that I want to achieve, and I'm not there yet, but I am a whole lot better off now than I was 5 years ago, because every day, well, not every day, like every paycheck. Anyway, consistently, I'm always working at the budget. Me and my husband are always budgeting every time. And we find that if we forget to budget, that paycheck just gets blown. Sorry, it's raining outside. I was hearing noises. If we forget to budget, our paycheck just gets blown. And I'm a professional. I'm professionally certified in money management, and I still struggle with money management. So I'm not immune to this. This is a human problem. So let's see, where was I? Oh, yes. Budgeting puts you in control. It helps you build wealth. It allows you to live the lifestyle you want, and it gives you financial freedom. Budgeting is not restrictive. It gives you freedom. Why does it give you freedom? Because if you have your budget set aside and you have everything ready to go and plan for, if your girlfriend calls you and says, hey, let's go to the movies, guess what? You can just jump and go to the movies because you have the money planned for it. Instead of saying, oh gosh, I've already spent all my money this month. Shoot. Likewise, you also have the freedom to say no when you don't want it, because you say, that's just not in my plan this month. And that's just not something I'm really wanting to do. If someone brings something up that you don't want to do or you don't want to spend money on, you can just say, I don't want to spend money on that. I'm sorry, but it's not in the plan or it's not in the budget. And that's not a negative thing. So the whole key about winning with money and really building that wealth and changing your life when it comes to your money is really changing your mindset. And you have to learn to accept that certain things you've been told or certain things you've seen just aren't true. And the budgeting myth is one of them. So I hope that you've liked this video so far. I hope you find value in it, and I hope that it was helpful. If I was able to help you in any way, please like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos like this. In my next video, I'm actually going to be talking about ways to make holiday purchases and Christmas purchases less stressful. I know that if you're anything like me, by the time Christmas is over, you're just recovering for a few months financially. You're like, oh gosh, I have to recover from Christmas. I just overspent. Well, in my next video, I'll be sharing some tips and tricks to avoid the Christmas spending burnout so that come January 1st, you feel refreshed, you have enjoyed your holidays, and you do not have that financial hangover. So if you want to see it, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time I post a video. If you are watching this video a few months from now, I will post a link to that video in this description. But for now, I hope to see you next time, and thank you for watching my channel.